Hello and welcome to a new indie game video. Today we're going to take a look at another Steam Next Fest demo, and this is for a game called The Killing Stone, which is a roguelike deck builder which has got a gothic theme to it. I kind of picked it out because I thought it looked quite cool. I know there are lots of roguelike deck builders out there, but this looks like it's got a bit of something to it, so why don't we have a look at it and see what it's like. Kind of the presentation is what piqued my interest with this game. That's very loud. Thought I'd turn the music down. Oh, flip me, that's some high sensitivity. Try some go down a tad. Mess with the audio a bit. Go at 50%. Walking. Okay, so we've got kind of. Ooh. I've got kind of a...
If thy tongue wants use, subject me. I am unto thy whim a bondsman. But
yeah,
as wise men will one day
Inscription.
say,
Not the film,
in the
not the
beginning
game.
was the act. If it is action thou cravest, then to the ritual and amen.
So yeah, as far as I understand it, you're supposed to try and outwit the devil. There was a cool thing when I started the game up. You could choose between modern English and more traditional English. I chose the traditional English. It seemed quite cool. So that's why we've got a kind of more oldie Englishy speaking. You approach the figure uncertainly, trying in vain to orientate yourself in this encompassing dark. Witterberg College, your office, was it not? A mysterious parcel left on your desk. Within, a box, strangely familiar. Numbly, you had skimmed the receipt, retaining nothing beyond Estate of Marikins Svarnbarg, herein as the deceased. Your ancient mentor, dead. In her shadow, false and true seem weightless. Equivocations. She left this box to you? On instinct, you reach for the clasp. Then, an uncanny light, which seems somehow to notice you.
From enjailed time thou art sudden scaped. All hail and welcome. Hast thou a soul?
Your presence would seem to strongly indicate a yes. I can prove no such thing.
Thou hast, or I would see thee not. But content, let's call thy new soul my gift, with love deliveried. Now, in all thy mortal world, there is but one game worth the candle. If thou wouldst play, ask thyself but this. Hast thou the art? Hast thou the will to beat the devil?
So has my mentor died? And, like, why did she... I assume she lost to the devil and she sent me this box? And now I'm going to die?
If
That
thou
very
couldst
nice.
know how oft I have been answered yes, thou wouldst stand amazed.
The figure gestures at the altar-like table and speaks no more. Alright, so we can begin ritual.
Dost see? Here is the table, and here the game. In this place, we play for souls. Here is my wager.
What do I get?
The soul of Marikin. Thou dost hereby swear to act as final executor of thy late mentor's pact. In all trials or contests unresolved, wilt thou play on her
Okay, so she sent me this to play for her. So I assume she's lost and she feels I can save her or something?
Thou hast mine eye, by thy dead witch bequeathed. 'Twill serve for thy stake in this test of bona fides, and keep the both of us honest.
Okay, so I've got his eye. There it is, goes down there.
Now, prove thou
That's
art
why he's
no
missing an eye.
impostor. Face Valravin, first familiar to learned Marikin, and confirm thyself her pupil.
The figure indicates a signature line on this ritual document. The package from Marikin contained a strangely vicious-looking ring with a nib at its tip. The purpose is obvious. Oh, yep, gonna sign my life away.
And now, by all the eyes of hell and heaven, are we to each unto the other bound, until the trial's done, and game be won. Let no mortal soul from this table rise.
The great pale bird hops forward, an albino corvid, quite rare. It trills strangely and seems to speak, not in words, yet you intuit the meaning. Wherefore a mock trial is plainly the one forenamed, yet if I must perforce, I'll fledge the witch. Lo, stranger, scrute the case in brief and make thine argument. This ritual binds you and the demon together in contest by contract. Click on the battle above your loop to begin. So is this one here? No, that's my loop. Combat minion, battle against a weak enemy. Balrin the first lesson, trivial battle. To win this contractual battle, you must reduce the health of your opponent's eye to 0. If you reach 0 health, you lose. When your turn starts, you draw up to 5 cards, which you then play on the battle line. Select a card with your left mouse click. They're all exactly the same. Where does it go? Here. Cards are all creatures which get placed on the battle line and fight when your turn ends. Place one now in the available spot. Where's the available spot? It's just here. Why has it disappeared? Hello? Oh, it's a bit finicky. Cards cost action points to play, and action points refill on your next turn. Play thralls until you run out of action. So it's a classic free mana. It's a bit iffy, yeah. Not sure where my mouse is going in order to put it on the desk. When you run out of mana, you can end your turn with space to enter the resolve phase and let your creatures attack. These are weird looking creatures, aren't they? Like guys with, I don't know what you call those things. It's like a medieval torture thing. During resolve, creatures attack and deal wounds equal to their strength to the first non-ally they face. Okay, so it's like I'm gonna assume they put units on here. But they've got no units, so it's just gonna hit the eye. And now they've got units. The Fangle divides the board. You can only place creatures on your side and vice versa. All creatures have health and will die if blood reduce... What? If attacks, I assume, reduce that health to 0. Keep playing thralls until you run out of room. No. Yeah, they could do with kind of sorting this out. I run out of room. Your battle line is full. If you end your turn with unspent mana, 1 mana or all over to the next turn. Well, that's good to know. So I attack, they don't defend. And then we get 1 attack on the eye, and they're dead. I win! You've defeated your opponent, but such minions are only an aspect of the greater advocate. Proceed to the next battle. Initiated. Trivial battle. Beneath each eye is a wounds preview. Place a creature on the battle line to see the preview change. -2, okay. The damage seen here will happen during the resolve phase, and your turn to see it happen. The demon played a new kind of creature. Focus on it with mouse to see its details. Tunnels 1. Biopost is the first asset in front of it when attacking. Overreach has a special keyword, tunnel. Creatures with tunnels skip the first valid target when attacking. Attacks hit the eye directly if there's nothing to skip. It'll go underneath. Oh, hello. Went over, not underneath. The slash preview means this creature will die at the end of the turn. Alright, well, we'll just play... We should be able to play 2, yep. And then that means we win. Because they've only got 1 health left. So far, so straightforward. The third lesson. Your new card Spark is an invocation, a spell that affects the board but isn't placed on it. Select Spark now with the mouse button. Use Spark on the eye. The rest of your hand is all thralls, which seem unlucky. Select the draw pile with your mouse to see if you've got anything better waiting. I do. The draw pile. This shows your remaining deck in random order. When this is empty, the graveyard reshuffles into it. Use the back button to leave. You draw up to 5 cards each turn. You can then hover and use the right mouse button to discard 1, hopefully making space for a better card next turn. Continue your process and end the turn. Well, I want to play, don't I? So how many cards do you draw in a turn? Do you draw up to your full hand, I assume? Their turn. Got 2 sparks, they're dead. If you regret a move, you can undo it with the undo button. You can undo any move until your end of turn. I like an undo button. It's very easy to make mistakes sometimes. Especially when you're learning a game. I was playing a turn-based game yesterday, and it was really easy to misclick, and there was no undo button. It was driving me insane. The bird interrupts to address your devilish foe. Zons, must needs we all this pomp and puffery? Then, somewhat sing-song, doth thine one good eye not suffice to see? Here's the foretold maven, else I'm not me.
Winged knave of no colour plumed, go to. This exam is by hest of thy mysteries, whose likeness thou seemst to voice, yet roundly fail to list. And rhyme not thus, Squab, save by the homophony of silence. Else will I see my cap new feathered.
He's gonna give you a biff. The bird stiffens. Whatever the masked adversary may truly be behind this shape, Valraven seems far wary of it than his words suggest. Wilt thou converse with our guest in new civility or candour? Hast thou not a reputation for't?
Content. We may commune in comfort now, if thou wilt.
Okay, so we talk again.
To me thou art the shape of joy infleshed. Oh, to match at last, sweet sinner to the sin. The late Marican named thee her pupil. Shouldst thou by ritual trial prove thou art the one chosen by the witch, then like that box presently will I, and all the world, to thee ope. The second ritual test awaits, unless thou hast questions.
Okay, so you can find a bit out about what's going on. So is it true Marican is dead? She has willed me her arcane secrets, but are you the catch?
Oh, Maven, we are all of us ensnared. Should Marican's debts unto the house be settled in full, and thereafter sums residual stand ope to claimants, thou art thereby to all scholarly holdings entitled, tomes, servants, artifacts, et al.
Her library was said to contain, well, the secrets of creation itself.
Aye. Her exile merely stoked that pale and patient fire which doth across the centuries score men's names, or from within consume them. She wished to exceed them all, and as a woman too. Oh, the scandal.
Scandal indeed.
I shall miss that. Thou wert but young. Perhaps of her tutelage thou dost remember not? Well, she is dead at last. If thou dost agree to execute her will, all is thine. For in it thou art named. Now, shouldst thou die before thy tasks complete, thine own soul wilt to forfeit fall, unless some undisclosed advocate steps forth on thy behalf.
Here's the roguelike bit stepping in. His mask is already winking, yet here you notice it anew.
The second ritual test awaits, unless thou hast questions.
Let us resume the ritual contest. Its mysteries begin to reveal themselves to me. Alright, next ritual. Oh, I should have seen I could walk about a bit. Boon. Select a temporary boon to improve your odds. Here you can choose a boon, a special effect that will help you until the ritual ends. Boons stack with each other, so it's always better to take one if offered. Select an option and then confirm your choice to proceed. So we've got Vital Ink Vial, which increases my maximum health by 1. Revitalizing Salts, which heals 1 on every combat start. And Cup of Plenty, which heals 2 wounds when your entire deck is cycled during combat. Heal 1 on every combat start seems pretty good, so why don't we take that one? And onwards to the next combat. The 4th lesson. You can place any creature in reserve above another creature, ready to join the battle when the first one falls. Play a celestial projection now on the battle line. The placement slot above our celestial projection represents space for a reserve. Place Comet Archer there. Where's this? Oh, here. Unlike the creatures on the battle line that host them, reserve creatures don't normally attack or get hit in combat. End your turn to see your attack. Okay, so what's the point of doing it? Enemy played Spark. Enemy played Spark. Some creatures have special abilities when they deploy from reserves, like Anchor of Faith. Play it in the Comet Archer reserve now. Okay. Attacks immediately and gives enemy neighbours -1 when deployed from reserve. So that's the point. You're just playing them. Like, it's just a bit of added strategy. And then we're going to play one of these as well. The opponent's symbol eye means this effect applies to the enemy eye. So in this case, thorns will strike your creatures and your Maven eye. Ah, what? Cheater. He didn't even come in. Oh, he did come in, didn't he? Strike straight away. Play a Spark. What we got here? Thrall. We don't really want a Thrall. We're going to discard that one. And then end turn. And victory is mine. Alright, onwards. To boss. Aggression is a chance. Chance must be played in reserve and are discarded when they hit the battle lines. So okay, we'll put down the celestial guy. And then aggression gives its host +1. They get +1 attack. Rust. Every creature on the battle line loses 1 attack. And another one. And now they deal 1 damage. They lose another health because of the Thrall attacking. Shattered Relics. Deal 3 to any asset in reserve. Why would you do that? Or is that doing it on their side? I probably want to put this in. Oh, this in here. And then the Anchor of Faith goes on top. And then we end the turn. Oh, your Celestial Projection is damaged. You can replace by selecting a card, then selecting a figure on the board. Replacing a host keeps their reserve. Okay, so I was supposed to put it. I see what I was doing there. Can't do it now, though. So what would be the point of doing that? Would it go back into my hand and I would play it again and it'd be full health, I assume? Oh, 4-1. Oh, of course he goes over the top. But then he attacks instantly. Haha. Here's the host. Okay, let's put that on here. So that's going to be enough to kill him. We might as well just... so when we do this... Yeah, it goes back into my hat. Well, it goes to the discard part, I guess. Not really sure what's the point, though. I guess if you've got... If it's going to die, you don't want it to die. But then if it's discarding the card anyway... Unless once you... Yeah, no, I don't understand what that would be for. If I knew thou wert no charlatan, 'tis mine honour to serve thee, Maven, and to fly his company, I faith.
No counterfeit art thou, a Maven true, and pupil to infamed Marikin. For in each hand thou placed, I see hers. Now ends the sportive joust, and begins the earnest duel.
Okay, so that was a tutorial.
Thy witch believed thou couldst outgamble me, as upon a stone in earth redoubted, break my back upon thy will. I, in whose blood the first air pact was penned, who for thy game of souls carved chessmen from the teeth of time.
Right,
At thy journey's end, seek me out, and we shall see.
He places a small effigy of you in travelling kit, near what appears to be a model house, as one might use with dolls. So he's the final boss, as it were. North be thy fateful voyage, lo twixt that puissant eye and I, thence shall thy way be loomed. In coldness shalt thou meet him next, and as true adversaries, alas, accept thee no quarter. Soon wilt thou miss the warmth of this first fond embrace. Follow me. Do like the presentation. As I said, that's one of the things that drew me to the game.
My sin eater and final friend. In death, I beg of thee one last favor. That most fateful game I once taught thee is not yet won. All did I wager, and lost more still. Now I fear thine art must exceed mine own. The Svangard family stands at hazard now, and the house doth intend to collect. Prithee, visit my kinsmen in their exile, and shield them from my wretched curse.
Didn't think we'd be walking about a bit like this.
Thou needst not love them, but e'en the worst of us deserveth a happier fate than this. And, oh Maven, to speak me plain, 'tis thou alone whom I entrust to beat the devil. Marikens Vanguard.
Alright. So doggy looks happy to see us. Where's the gate? Oh, here we go. What's that statue over there? Oh, here comes the dog. Interesting. We've got like some kind of fountain or something. Doggy's run off again. Oh, near it growling at something. Oh, doesn't like what's in this tunnel. Drop some blood in. Wait, what? Just a bit. Wait, what? Just a bit of snow comes down. Yeah, I was gonna say that's not really. Stop anybody. Oh, I can talk to the dog. Oh, the dog can talk back to me. Raven, forgive me. I think I did not greet thee properly. You greeted me properly, as might a dog. Oh, pray save thy flattery till by works I earn it. Chops will come here full abashed and loosen his tongue again. He sniffs you a little. Thou dost smell of ash. Thou knowest then. Mine old mistress is dead, and since I faith I had mine own self forgot. Yet I am remember. Oh, I am late. Come, prithee, her family await us. Why is the dog talking to me? I can see that some people might not like the oldie English. I could just feel it. But as I said, you can turn it off. And I quite like it. Does give it like that kind of Shakespearean feel a bit. That's not going to be, obviously not going to be to everybody's tastes. The dog instinctively guides you through the grand old manse, sniffing and chuffing about as if he too was seeing it anew. Signs of isolation and decay have mounted slowly over decades, yet oddly, only on the outside. The chambers themselves are remarkably well preserved. Still, the light seems clustered in too few rooms. This is a dwelling for a great clan, yet the sheer silence belies that utterly. Ahead, a few souls stand in a loose cluster, and behind them, the blessed promise of firelight. You suppress a sudden urge to rush past them and collapse upon the hearth. A big man of some 80 years steps forward to greet you. Mr. Chops emits a small, friendly whine at the sight. What? Oh, I was going to say, what's in his hand? Volum. A man takes in your mask, your strange case. A guest! I faith, her guest? Aye, such as was. Her will instructed me to expect thee, and not thy name. Just Maven, then. Of our great house, these few are nigh all who doth remain. High ye Svanguards, pray be remembered of how to greet a guest. This is my... Rasmine. Rasmine. To hear father tell it. Thou'rt for our family far come indeed. 'Tis past uncommon to chance upon another soul in exile, and to wilfully choosest why is rarely redoubled, ill common. They inspect your vestments, your case and mask, unhurried. Some quiet paradox is here. You feel keenly measured and yet unjudged. An Inuk woman steps forward and curtsies very briefly, after a look at the large fellow for confirmation. It is impossible not to notice the cross around her neck, a covered hair. In Germany or Denmark she would draw eyes, but not for her clothes. You are far from both. This is her people's land. What prompted such effort? My wife, Nika. Not oft so silent, I assure thee. A hasty half laugh. They both look back to him. Absurdly, in the silence, the dog does too. He rests his red-limbed eyes on a specific bit of nothing, then abruptly seems to recall that he too has a name. And Volum Svangard am I. My grandmother lieth below the house, in the grotto. When the long morning night doth lapse, Madakin Svangard shall see buried, being on as one of the old Danes, her request. Yet ere that hour thou wilt see to her soul, yes? Ah, but peace, I overstep. Proceed as seest fit. Welcome to Vacanat. All retreat to the den, likely unsure what to expect of you. Characters with speech bubble have something to say. When you are ready to advance the game, go to the exclamation mark. Okay, well, we've hit like halfway. We've hit like nearly half an hour. I might just chat to these and then we'll play in the demo there. Soft, no further pomp will plague thee, Maven. No hand at introductions, aye. Years in exile now, neither herald nor page in long arms shot. Yet, when a true stranger asks my name, still a gap stand I, awaiting my cue by some phantom trumpery. He seems to immediately regret the candour and clears his throat. We hath, by my hest, gathered here in common sight, since the event. He seems to force the blunt truth out against some resistance. Her death discovered. What little will Marican left unto us spoke of our quaint burial practice and vigil duty in keeping with ancient custom, and so we Svanguards mourn as one. He frowns, some fear of inquisition even here. Since that morn, grandson Malthy mine hath likely felt him unduly cooped, mind a race too, with questions about earthly perishment. A maven is many forms of doctor. Volum seems to know this and feel obliged to share an observation relevant to the family health. Lad came over somewhat insomniac. At length he fell asleep upstairs. Thou mayest pass it on the way to thy guest room. Softly, prithee grant him oblivion's brief grace. It's got like a kind of... His face has got like a painterly look to it. Kind of if he was made... No, not painterly, like they were made out of... Well, yeah, kind of if they were made out of clay or something. As you approach, they hold their hand out at a canted angle to shake or to kiss it. The pose makes it unclear. You settle for a curt bow. Pray shareth the fire, Doctor. Thou art come to shrive great-grandmother's soul somehow, truly? They pause, eyes betraying a trace of mirth. Hath she any left? Father hath no belly for blood, maiden, but thou shouldst be told. From her balcony fell Marikin, high in the house of a knight, struck her head on a sharp bit of earth outside, and so endeth a legend. We found her next morn. The old girl was with age slowed, but methought her sturdier? Or to say, frozen she was then, and hath by now in the grotto somewhat thawed. Yet thy charge is the soul. One might say that engast our will, all Svangards are in much theology versed. Yet, in matters spiritist, we poor excommunicates are able not. Digester with their goblet hand in a wide arc indicating the manner, the family's Arctic exile. They spill not a drop. Sooth, twice again would pass old Marikin, ere in this admit she needeth help, thine. Alright, and then there's just this old lady here. The woman gestures to herself, not touching her chest. Nika, no need and nothing. A perfunctory smile, hands out, open, then half closed. Do not worry, they convey. But you've still got something to say. This woman, evidently nicknamed Nika, bows her head silently but does not break eye contact, indicating you may proceed to walk past her, uncannily like Volm himself. Good evening again, Nika. Yes. Nika, yes. No need for... Nika, yes. Need. Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. We've shared thy comfort, false or sincere. She I knew not, but lately grandmother unto Voln. His be the need, the first for which I may do nothing. He gestures to you as if to say, it falls to you. Carry on. Of even nothing we have said too much, Among my guides from the whaler, then across the waste, was an Inuit. That is an Inuk. And Volum is your... She moves her head, eyes widening, as if to prompt you to finish with a trace of impatience. You left a polite pause for an interruption. Now you're in no man's land. You inhale. Man and mine own. Oh, so that's what she says. Man and mine own. To keep as I mean to. She eyes you, scanning your gown for suggested anatomy with little success. It is not jealousy. This, a kind of elemental frankness about risk, perhaps. With whom has she had to compete? My husband doth tell me that occupation is thy name, so thou must be called Goeth about strange house bemasked, and that thou hast business with the dead. God rest her. For me, I am alive. My name's but itself, and I've no face save this, to reveal thee. What's left for the sharing? Please, with his word, wert thou not welcomed? On its weight we are now. His faith doth seem, in the sight of an enrobed stranger, somewhat swelled. Haunt our home as thou must, and shouldst thou chance upon a fellow spirit, pray most deeply inward breathest. When thou goest, if my volume dost exhale at last, content shall Nika be. She smiles, for her an act of power. She looks at old Volum with what seems genuine warmth, but briefly. Her jaw sets firmly. She is done. We'll just talk to him one more last time. We are at thy disposal, Marvin. I ask only that thou judgest us fairly. Trying to indicate welcome, but at a loss for further words, Volum steps out of your way very deliberately and smiles. If so, he is rather out of practice. Alright. I think we're going to leave the demo there. Or the video there. Yeah, it kind of gives me what I thought I was going to get in terms of something a bit different. Obviously, there's a bit of a narrative to the game, and I really like the presentation. Just the general vibe and feel of the game is really cool. It's bringing something a bit different to the old roguelike deck building genre. Obviously, I thought it'd be a kind of reference inscription at the start, but it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like its own thing. And I found that recently I've enjoyed roguelike deck builders that have some kind of story to them. If you're just going for the nuts and bolts, run after run after run, and it's all about the gameplay, you really have to bring something special nowadays, because there's been so many. But if you've got a bit of something else about you, and you've got a bit of story, a bit of intrigue, which the Killing Stone has, I think that kind of is going to serve you well. In terms of the gameplay, It is slightly different because you're putting units on the board and you've got to think about what your opponent's playing and what they have played, and you're kind of protecting your health with your units. So yeah, there's a bit of a different spin on things there. So all in all, yeah, I enjoyed that. It's a good demo. I'll put a link in the description below. You can go check it out as part of Steam Next Fest. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, subscribing, all that good stuff really helps me out. Appreciate anyone who takes time out to do that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.